Hey guys, first regardsman here. I'll be talking about a max melee build for the Vanguard class in Space Marine 2. Now, melee Vanguard is actually pretty damn fun in this game. Today I'll be taking the White Scar's Chainsword, though alternatively you could pick up the Block Power Axe. These are the two best melee weapons on this class at the moment in my opinion, and there is a bit of a caveat to this build, because we are building around the best melee perks on this class, so we're going to be combining the Inferno Pistol with Motivated Melee and the perk over here, Retribution, for a 30% buff while our ranged weapons magazine is empty. That is pretty strong on top of stuff like Grim Determination for even more melee damage. However, we will be skipping over the Donkey perks, which are a melee champion, because this perk's damage buff is trash, and you are giving up two of the best perks in this entire class for this pile of shit. And also, melee mastery is okay, but upper hand is way better for a melee build. So we're going to be skipping over these two, but for the most part, our damage buff here will still be like a 65% buff, which is pretty strong, on top of some other options I'll go into. Now, for the primary, I do take the Heroic Instigator on this build, though if you want to take things like the Automatic Bolt Carbine or the Marksman Carbine, these are both very strong. I would just set them up this way. They're pretty interchangeable, because this one's a bit better for contested health recovery at close range, and the damage is quite comparable, and this one's a bit better at medium range. The Oculus is also okay with the ×2 headshot multiplier version, but I think the Oculus has kind of fallen behind the Bolt Carbine options and the Heroic Instigator. And the Heroic Instigator here kind of hits like a truck, so we're taking that today. So for the perk tree on this, I just kind of go for like full body shot and, ammo and damage. So number one, extended magazine, into the perk here, reload restoration, into the perk here, divine might, over into increased capacity. The ammo economy on Vanguard is okay, and that's why these three guns are so strong, because the carbines have a ton of ammo, and so is the Heroic Instigator for the most part. Next perk here is Great Might, up here to the perk Recoupment. Then we pick up the perk here, Cleaving Fire and Rampage, and the final perks are Reloading Immunity, into the perk here, Death Strike. Now, if you want to skip over these final two perks and just pick up stuff like Tactical Precision or Hone Precision, the flat damage buff here is better at times than the conditional buff of Death Strike, because this one says, after killing a Majoris or higher enemy in melee combat, you will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. This is a pretty good perk effect, and keep in mind, this will trigger on a melee execute, and we are going for melee executes quite a bit with things like Adrenaline Rush and also stuff like Inner Fire to get back our CDR, which is pretty nice synergy for us. And this perk here is quite strong for that reason. It also helps us trigger perks on the body shot like Rampage and Hordes for even more damage. So that's why we went down here, though like I said, if you want to skip over these two, you definitely can. Now for the secondary, I do take the Inferno Pistol here with Motivated Melee. So number one, we go Divine Might into the perk here for a 20% buff on our melee when our weapon has no ammo in its magazine, excuse me. And that will also stack here with Retribution, so pretty good combo on that. The variant you choose doesn't matter too much. I mean, the rate of fire version CHP recovery is a bit better, but I do like the ammo economy on the standard version. The rest of the perk tree, regardless, will be Great Might down to Perpetual Range. Then we pick up Increased Capacity, Adamant Restoration, and the final perks are Extra Shot and Trick Shot, because these are the overall strongest. And even though some people like One Shot up here, the value of these perks down here, especially on the rate of fire version, is pretty strong. So I would definitely pick these up. But if you want to do this, just make sure you have that empty magazine. You definitely can. Now, for the melee weapon, we do take the White Scar's Chainsword. This weapon is one of the best melee weapons in the entire game, especially on the Vanguard, because Vanguard has like double contested health recovery, or excuse me, not double, 50% contested health recovery on its melee weapons. And because of that, you can take the perk down here, Swift Recovery, for double CHP recovery on your heavy attacks on the White Scar's Chainsword, and they will stack, and that pretty much makes you immortal against the Minoris in the game on both Chaos and Tyranids, because really all you have to do is just kick them and bash them, and you'll get back all of your contested health on Vanguard no matter what. If you do lose HP, you'll eventually get it back from like that little sliver on Adrenaline Rush anyways. Now, for the rest of the perk tree here, we take Perpetual Strength first, moving here into the perk Perpetual Strength and Perpetual Strength. Then we pick up Reverberating Impact into the perk here, Combined Onslaught, Heavy Onslaught, and Full Throttle for the combo skip. And the final perks here are your choice of the perk here, Minoris Slayer and Extremis Slayer, or Majoris Slayer and Hard Target. I kind of prefer this one because Majoris are just more plentiful in the game than Extremis anyways, and you can already one combo these guys on this build off of 3 stacks of your Fury of Chigoris on like a standard melee combo that I'll have a guide for up here. And that's pretty much all there is for the White Scar's Chainsword. Now, for the main perk tree, We do take upper hand first because no knockback on a melee build is just the way to go, and the next perk here is Conviction for a 25% health damage reduction for 10 seconds. This is just the best perk in this column by far. This perk alone makes you way tankier on this class because without this, you're actually pretty damn squishy, so I would definitely pick this up. Next perk here is, of course, Retribution. Moving here into the perk Inner Fire because getting ability cooldown is super strong on this build, especially if you pick up the healing perk over here for yourself instead, because you kind of get like the best of both worlds. Now, the next two perks I take here are Collateral Damage and Tenacity. Now, Collateral Damage gives you a 50% bonus damage on your diving kick and damages enemies for free on the way to the grapple launcher's target, and Tenacity gives you a 130% damage bonus to your diving kick with a 15-second cooldown on a ranged kill of a Majora's or higher enemy. Now, the only downside of this is that you will not always want to range kill a Majora's in front of you because you're trying to trigger perk effects like Inner Fire and Adrenaline Rush occasionally, and these will not trigger off of something like that, but usually you'll find an opportunity to do this anyways, and I've made a build around this like back in patch 11 because it did buff up this perk to be this 130% damage increase, but these days this perk combo here is even better because in patch 12 they made it so the grapple launcher diving kick will scale up with difficulty, which means it's actually doing a tremendous amount of damage, which means you can do things like one-shot Majora's and one-shot Extremis now pretty regularly, which is pretty nice. Though if you do want to skip over this perk here, you can take Tip of the Spear or stuff up here like Zone of Impact even with Tactical Prowess, and alternatively you could go for range damage reduction with Restless Fortitude or Shockwave if you want that. This isn't that important, but it's just a nice combo. Next perk here is Grim Determination. Grapple launchers in cooldown, weapon damage increases by 15%. We are going for a full melee damage build here, so this is like the second best perk for free, though I do think Thrill of the Fight is a very strong perk as well. This one says after a period of time parry or block or dodge, you will take 20% less health damage for 5 seconds. This perk here combined with the perk down here Conviction for a 45% health damage reduction. That is a very strong option in this game. A 45% health damage reduction in Space Marine 2 is super underrated by a lot of the player base. This makes your Vanguard incredibly tanky, and on top of that, this perk will reapply its effect every single time you parry, block, or dodge, even if the ongoing 5 seconds are still there. So I would definitely pick this up if you want like pure damage reduction, but for pure max damage, you can definitely pick this up. And if you want like full diving kick opportunities, take Combat Readiness, but that is up to you. Final perk here is like Mercy, Emperor's Blessed. The final perk here is Adrenaline Rush for healing because some form of healing on the Vanguard is pretty nice. This also has perfect synergy with the perk Inner Fire. If you really want like double healing, you can even take on Mass Heal. And that's pretty much all there is for the main perk tree. Now, for the prestige perk options, I take Battlefield Awareness first. If it targets within 8 meters, you'll deal 10% more range damage. We are a Vanguard class, so being within 2 feet of the enemy happens all the damn time in this game. And also, Grim Determination will only function when your grapnel launcher is entirely on cooldown. You cannot have a single charge up for this, so just keep that in mind. And because of that, you will be in the enemy's face off cooldown pretty much all the time in this game, so definitely pick this up. Next perk here is Fortitude for health increase of 15%, and the final perks are Launch Restoration and Restoration because double armor restoration here is kind of absurdly potent on this class, and Indomitable Spirit is a very strong perk, but you do not need the no knockback here because you already get no knockback on your gun strikes from upper hand. And that is pretty much all there is for this melee setup, guys. Melee Vanguard is pretty fun. The Heroic Instigator Carbine is a pretty strong weapon in this game on this class, and like I said before, if you want like a Bolt Carbine, you can definitely do that. If you really want to take even like a Melt or an Oculus, you could also have that option, but for the most part, I think these two are the best weapons on this class, and that's all I have to say in this one, guys, and hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and if you want to catch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description, also the link to my community Discord. I also want to say a special thank you to my channel members. You guys have been really supportive over the past 2 years, and I really appreciate that, and as always, thank you for watching, take it easy, bye.
Attention boarding parties. We have confirmation that Combat Squad Favors is lost. I need a mission status update from all remaining combat squads. Combat Squad Heraton here. Redirecting along newly advised path. Combat Squad Octavio reporting in. Cyclonic armament secured for now. Talasa, you are nearing the reactor cooling hole. Report on its condition when you arrive. lived and ready. Into the jaws of death. All pulp and no brains. Come out, you dream and see us. What needs grappling? The sneaky bastard is done. Replenished and ready. Magazine out! Magazine in! Into the fray! Up and over! This is our killing ground, brothers!
So many warriors around here, huh? You want to make sure you have the maximum melee here. You need to have. Make sure you are actually having your secondary equipped, otherwise it will not work. This guy's like actually hiding from me, so I can't grapple him. I mean, we probably just one-shot him here, but why not be sure?
Closing the gap!
If you love the content, any chance to do a campaign playthrough on YouTube? 0% chance of that.
Swapping out magazine! What
Next campaign, you'll see me play is Space Marine 3.
all pulp and no brains! Into the fray! Reloading! Grapnel rev and ready! Stay dead! Replenished and ready! What needs grappling? Harpoon engaged!
This is where the Bulk Carbine's better than the Heroic Instigators. The Heroic Instigator definitely a strong gun and damage. It's not as ammo efficient. I love enraged enemies, dude. They can't be staggered.
Fill your packs, brothers! Hook available! Do not get turned around! Xenos everywhere! All squads, we have updated our battle stratagems. Heraton, reinforce Octavio and protect the cyclonic armaments. Talassa, your new orders are to destabilize the reactor, cause a temperature spike, and the Tyranids may redirect their assault to you, buying Heraton and Octavio some time to prime the armaments. When you reach the reactor's cooling console, disable the emergency blast shields.
Right, fire blast finish.
Shoot the spore mark! Emergency blast shields retracting. Warning. Coolant rods exposed. Talassa, I need you to disable the entire cooling array. Concentrate fire on the exposed cooling rods. Damage the weak points.
Oh, well, I definitely didn't want that.
What needs grappling? Magazine out! Magazine what? Set.
Ain't this fun?
What needs grappling? Shoot the weak points.
Should want to try that almost.
Its head splits like overripe fruit. Reloading. One down. Trillion.
That strike's actually pretty good on this gun. Like I say, as long as you take like a medium range option, or like as long as you take a bolt carbine or any of the bolt carbines, instigator, it doesn't really matter. Standard bolt carbine, marksman carbine, you should be fine to just go pick up an Inferno pistol, because as long as you have that secondary option, or like a primary medium range option, you'll be okay.
Blast the rods free of Xenos bodies.
Boy, should snipe your fucking annoying, I can say.
Swapping out magazine. Smells like fresh munitions. There will be no repairing that. Registering extreme temperature fluctuation.
Is that a Raven Guard cape? Yeah, we are a black guard right now with the yellow face mask. I felt like it.
Excellent, Talassa. You will need to repeat the same process at the second array. Access granted to the bridge console.
I think you were already into 40k. I've been in 40k for like 15 years for this game.
Elements of the cooling rod array are cloaked. Magazine out! Magazine in!
Fuck, there's so many fucking snipers right now.
Closing the gap!
Which chainsword is that? White Scar's chainsword. I think White Scar's chainsword and block power are actually the two best melee weapons on this class, in my opinion. I think they're just the two best melee weapons in the game, really, for any class other than Power Fist or Thunder Hammer. Even then, there's only one class I put the Thunder Hammer that high on, it's Assault. So, for the most part, White Scarf chainsword and block power axe are just kind of cracked. Argent Edge too, but that's for a different reason.
Never turned out fresh ammunition. Borrowers? Psychic beast! That head is mine! Magazine up! Magazine in! Hook available!
That's what I wanted. This should trigger a Death Strike. They add a Chaplain to this game in the next patches. Which weapon do you think they'll add to him? Probably whatever he has in 11th edition, because we haven't actually seen their data sheets yet. I imagine they're probably going to get more weapons, because like, people are like, oh, we only have a Crozier. Well, that's only in, like, edition. Nothing says it's going to be true in the next codex. And Chaplain was in the trailer for 11th edition in the first place. Oh, it's him.
Cool down. This cruiser will soon perform its final task. Proceed to the decks below and force the plasma reactors to overheat.
I thought the PC trolls should be weird, man. I mean, they're better. They're way more precise. Or my keybinds? My keybinds are just vanilla. Probably a power maul, maybe. They did say they want to prioritize a great sword, but they're doing the one-handed hammer next, which makes me think we're probably going to get. We might get it this year. That could happen.
Understood. Be advised. We remain under heavy Tyranid assault. With the heat increase.
I think a looter shooter would work for 40k. I mean, really, all we're asking at that point is, would a looter shooter work with a 40k full skin on it? I'm like, yeah, looter shooters are fun. If you make a good looter shooter, let's say, for example, would you play Borderlands if Borderlands was just aesthetically 40k and the entire story was 40k as? Probably. So I'd say yeah. Or maybe you wouldn't, because nobody plays Borderlands anymore. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I should just get those guys on the way, then whatever. We'll get it ready to do that. Consequences on the Vanguard class, never heard of them. Morning after you game, what's up, Osborne? What's your graphics card? 390 Ti. Guys, I always find it funny when people ask me technical questions. I'm like, usually, there's so many things that can go wrong in a game, or just your personal computer, whether it be like you have processes are running in the background. That it's very, very rare you're ever gonna find like oh, this guy has this setup. It will fix my game immediately. And if you want to do that, channels like Digital Foundry are the best for that, by far. They'll tell you whatever graphics settings you need for like any game.
All these dead tyrannids are a welcome sight.
I've been a tenacity simp for like a year now, and now all of a sudden all the Vanguard players are like, actually, tenacity is pretty good. Like, really? You don't say. I liked it before the diving kick buff. I liked it on patch 11 PPS. Those who are ahead of the curve, dude, they're all like, I still think execution's still much higher damage potential, but I'm just like, I always like the simplicity of tenacity. Because you don't have to sit there playing a flowchart the entire time. You can just be like, oh, there's a guy there, I guess I'll go after him. And I feel like that's what most players in the game are doing anyways, so. The heroic instigator. They need to buff up the Octopus. That thing is shit these days. Like, the only weapons I would ever take on this class anymore are like Melta, heroic instigator, and the bull carbines. I need to buff up the reliquary instigators. I need to buff up the Oculus because they're fucking donkey otherwise. And maybe like throwing a little salamander buff there too, why not? Why does a pyro grenade not damage you? I mean it does, I was just gonna execute. Now we were going for like a max melee build on this, but with a caveat, which is that melee champion and melee mastery are perks that are so bad in this game. I wouldn't even take them on a melee build for this class. Like you're really just turning, like what are you gonna take, inner fire or crash? Inner fire, MSGL, or Frash, I should say. And then we have Dark Tide's leader sure, Dark Tide's not leader sure. Especially not now. There's so many fucking snipers, this game.
That was too
think I actually killed like probably 30 or 40 snipers this game. That'd be 41. Or 31, depending. Or somewhere in between. All I know is there's been a lot of dead ones. The Instigator Heroic is very cool. It's definitely one of the better guns in this class. I think the two best guns for this class are just the bolt. The best gun is just the bolt carbine. Either of its stronger variants. The marksman carbine and the automatic are both pretty equivalent on this class, anyways. This one's definitely the next after that. In some ways, it can be better. It hits like a truck. I have to wonder if next patch Saber will nerf purification. We got it, at what cost? The furtive relic instigator so easy forgotten. Yeah, instigator carbines. Things that nobody says in Space Marine 2. Instigator carbine's better than the heroic one. What's that thing? Hey guys, let's all use the Oculus carbine ammo variant.
What are we waiting for? Reactor ahead. This will be good.
Poor thing needs help, probably a decent heroic. Literally impossible. You'll get a combi, tell you what, you'll get a combi bolt pistol on it. You'll have a bolt pistol option attached to the bottom of your Oculus. And you'll like it. Not really necessary, not really, but fun. Shit, better combo here. Well, I like the White Scar's chance for more in the block axe sometimes, because his forward clears is way better. Ready your thingy. Back out so I can grapple you. Thank you. I don't think that's how this should work, right? I mean, I could use this sim, but I'm fucked at this point. I don't think I actually fight the enraged one this mod. Usually I just kill him. But the accuracy version of the Oculus, it's okay. I think all the other ones are still better. Oculus just doesn't have a good enough ammo economy.
Reactor critical to Lhasa. Disengage. Brothers. Lhasa, we're tracking your signatures. Octavio and Heriton Leader already on board. Our brothers prevailed. Follow the designated evacuation routes immediately.
Is the ammo Inferno the one with the better gun strike or not? I can't remember. The ammo one's one with the better gun strike. I'm just using the rate of fire. I mean, use either or. But this one has faster triggers on this. Yeah. Daily Vanguard's pretty fun. I don't know if I take Grim Determination there over Thrill of the Fight. I think Thrill of the Fight is probably a bit better, but considering you have to drain your entire perk tree for your entire cooldown for it to work. If you're going for max melee, that is the only other good melee perk besides. Honestly, there are only two decent melee perks in this whole class. That's just Grim Determination and Retribution. That's it. Melee Champion is a troll perk. I don't even know. The fact they haven't buffed that perk yet, honestly, shameful. Well, that's not a hybrid build. I don't know what it is, but